Hello, my name is Iryna and I had the absolute pleasure of working with Shreya this year. Shreya is an extremely bright and hardworking 8th grader at Rancho Middle School. She's an active participant in a lot of after-school activities, including the Science Olympiad, the swim team playing the Indian flute, and she even organized Math Madness, which is like Science Olympiad, but for math. Shreya came into this program knowing exactly what she wanted to work on, which really surprised me. So she came into our first meeting with a detailed plan of what she wanted to research. She wanted to understand if and how people could survive on Mars, and she came prepared with a very detailed Google Doc that already had all the questions that we could ask. And in the next few weeks, that document grew to be 6 pages that were incredibly detailed with research. And in the last 8 months or so, that document has grown to 31 pages as of today, outlining all of her questions, her progress, and her ideas of the projects that we did. And so throughout our time together, I've continually been impressed by Shreya's hard work and determination to really approach new ideas and take on challenging projects. And Shreya, I'm really proud of the hard work you've put in, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you take on next.
Hi, my name is Shreya N. I am in 8th grade and I go to Milpitas Middle School. My project is about making a Hertzsprung vessel diagram from a globular cluster and finding the size of an exoplanet based off of given data, all based off of astronomy. My mentor is Irene, and she works and studies at the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington. She has a bachelor's degree in astrophysics and studies how galaxies form and evolve with running simulations on supercomputers. She was raised in California and was born in Ukraine, and her hobbies include running and climbing with their 2 dogs and learning new languages. My magical experience. The highlights from my magical experience were examining and analyzing the exoplanet graphs, which were from the first half of the year in my project, and meeting every week to learn more. I learned many things from many different parts of Python, such as NumPy and AstroPy, and finding out about the tools of Python and using them like Jupyter Notebook. I also have plans for the future, which is to test the program in my final project on other objects which are globular clusters, and test the exoplanets program on 100 exoplanets. In the first half of the year, I worked on the Discovering Exoplanets program. So you might be wondering, what exactly is an exoplanet? An exoplanet is a planet that orbits a star outside of our system. The following pictures show 2 exoplanets, Kepler 186f and Kepler 16b, both of which are exoplanets which have an artist depiction. As you can see, one of them has red trees and the second one has 2 suns. In order to find the size of an exoplanet, I use something called the exoplanet transit formula, which is the dimming of light as an exoplanet passes in front of its host star and it casts a shadow on top of our own telescopes. The graph shown in the picture is called a light curve, and the dip that you see is called a transit. In order to find the planet's radius, I use the following formula, where r sub p is the radius of the planet, and r sub with the star symbol is the radius of the star, and depth is the transit. As you can see, when the larger planet passes in front of the star, a larger dip is made than when the smaller planet passes. In this program, it tells you the graph from the data that you have inputted, and tells you the size of your exoplanet. It allows you to zoom in at the dip, which it identifies where the exoplanet is. If you would like to see the exoplanets program, it's in the back on the table. The following graph is a graph that was created from the exoplanet program. As you can see, there are 5 dips, which means that exoplanet is clearly present. If there was a straight line, then there would be no exoplanet. My most recent project is the stargazing on a new level. So you might be wondering, what exactly is a star? A star is a ball of hydrogen and helium which shines through fusion. The following picture shows the life cycle of a star. Each star starts out as a stellar nebula, but based on the amount of matter that was there, it'll either turn into an average star or a massive star. What do you think is the closest star to our Earth? Yeah. Sun. That's correct. It's the Sun. There are many different types of stars within our universe, as well as in our own galaxy. The following picture shows many different types of stars. Each star starts out as a protostar, and it can go through this entire list of stars as it grows older. My favorite is the T Tauri star. And you might be wondering what a Hertzsprung-Russell diagram is. A Hertzsprung-Russell diagram compares the temperature and luminosity of stars, and it shows you its type. As you can see, if the temperature of a star is a little less than 5,000 degrees Kelvin, and the luminosity is approximately 1, the star is exactly like our Sun. And as you can see, majority of the stars are the main sequence. As a star ages and gets older from how it's originally born, it will go all over the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. My project is about making a Hertzsprung-Russell diagram based off of a globular cluster. A globular cluster is a large group of stars which are born at approximately the same age. The following picture shows the actual globular cluster that was observed with the Hubble Space Telescope. I would like to say thank you to Meredith Durbin, one of Iryna's colleagues, for helping us with the Jupiter notebooks and for finding this image. After seeing where the stars are, and you gotta make a table with all the values of the brightness and the location. Using the points from above and plotting them onto a graph, you can add color, and then you're able to identify which star is there, and your diagram is made. The following picture shows the raw data. As you can see, there is an X blue, an X red, a Y blue, and a Y red, each of which shows the location of the stars in both the filters, red and blue. The flux blue and the flux red show the brightness of the stars from all of the pixels together. Next, you had to create an image of the data, which was the colored image that you saw earlier. You have to combine the red and blue lights. This is the red filter data, and this is the blue filter. After putting them together and adding color to the picture, you can create this picture. In order to identify where exactly the stars are, the program looks for objects that are brighter than the average brightness. The average brightness of the entire picture is calculated by taking all of the pixels together and averaging them out. You can create a brightness threshold number, and you can make it really high so that you would find less stars, or you can make it really low and find more stars. That would include things that you would not like to find. The following picture shows a picture of some stars circled within the plot. The picture. This table shows the red and blue filter data and the star brightness. The location and the brightness of the stars circled are seen under X blue, X red, Y blue, and Y red. The flux blue and flux red are the brightness of the star per pixel. And finally, the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. As you can see, majority of the stars are main sequence stars, which is the blue color. The pink color is the giants, the dark blue is the blue stragglers, and the teal is the white dwarfs. In order to create this plot, matplotlib was used to make it. OIB, objects and builds, is initially defined, which is the x-axis. Then mag-r is defined, which is magnitude red, or the y-axis. In order to give this picture color, masks are used in order to signify a certain portion of the graph. For example, if you would like to color the giants the orange color, you would make the x-axis greater than 0.4, and you would make the y-axis less than 17. Within this Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, the brighter the star, which means the lower the magnitude, and the dimmer the star means the higher the magnitude. For the color of the star, the hotter it is, the less the number, the cooler, the higher the number. Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Zhang, Mrs. Reina, and Iryna for guiding and mentoring me through this program.